welcome to the Mindset RX podcast. And firstly, I've got to start this off with an apology. Apologies for not being with you for so long. Apologies for not sending out podcasts. Honestly, it's been Christmas, it's been the new year, and I just need a little break. So I'm sorry that I didn't forewarn you about that, but I hope you'll forgive me. But today I have what I think is, I suppose, maybe the most important message I've shared, and it pertains to training, and I suppose it kind of pertains to the message that I just kind of delivered to you. That I'm sorry because it took me some time to get back to this podcast, and I was kind of thinking about why I haven't done a podcast for a while, and honestly, the reason was that I had this very strict schedule with it. And I was trying to do 3 a week and make them more rigid, more structured, because I know that structure equals freedom, and it's a really important thing to do, to have that structure in your life, to have the structure in the way you live, because only from the structure there can you grow freedom. But what happened was something very interesting. This structure for me, what it did is it confined me. And it stopped me really expressing to you guys the most important messages that I could deliver to you. It made it, restricted. It made it, even though I know that I was delivering important messages to you, it wasn't from my heart. And this is what I want to tell you guys. Just before Christmas, I don't know whether it was anything to do with the winter blues or anything, or I don't know whether it was anything to do with the fact that I knew subconsciously, or I was processing the fact that there was going to be a bit of a wind down over Christmas, or even that at Mindset RX and personally, I've got some big things on the horizon. But it was just this rigidity. And I not only lost the passion, the joy for creating these podcasts, for writing posts and being active within the Mindset RX Facebook group, which is Mindset for Functional Athletes. By the way, cheeky little plug there. But I lost part of the passion for training too. And training because, again, it was in such a strict, regimented fashion of I train here, I train here, I train here, I train here. I lost what really training is about for me, which is this, this would be, I'm sure some of you will resonate with this, and I'm hesitating to say it, and I don't really know why. I lost this artistic expression that I get through training. When I am really physically moving, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this once or twice, or maybe you experience it the whole time. When I'm really moving well, when I'm in that flow state, when I'm in what I call free nature, everything feels good, right? I feel like I can express myself, whether that's most of all it comes through when I'm skiing, when I'm on the mountains, when I'm executing, I was going to say perfect turns, but I'm a good skier, but not that good. When I'm executing quite good turns in some soft powder, man, it feels like I'm flowing, I'm physically expressing myself. And I'd lost that through training. My programming was so structured. My WODs were really structured. I wasn't just having fun. And that fun piece, I know I've spoken about it so many times, but that fun piece is the pinnacle of the champ's mindset. I've got this whole structure, the pyramid shape of a champ's mindset, with self-knowledge on the bottom and perspective, and then process-driven and positivity. And then finally at the top, it's fun, because this is the thing that most good athletes miss out. I'm a fairly good athlete, but I forgot about the fun. And the fun is something that really drives us. The fun is something that is it is the reason we started in the first place. And I think as soon as we lose that, we lose the connection with what really set us alight in the first place. I think that is a sign that we need to change something. So here's what I did. I reconnected with who I want to be. And who I want to be, I know I've spoken about this before, but it's the adventurer warrior. Those two words together mean everything that I want to be physically. It's the adventure side of it is doing something that scares the shit out of me occasionally, that doing stuff that other people don't get to do and don't want to do, and doing stuff that seems ridiculous, and climbing mountains just because they're there. That is what really drives me. And then the warrior side of it is that fierceness, I suppose, and the masculinity aspect of it, which is like strength, I think, is it, like that really strength, like that is what truly that combination of those two ideas. And of course they express themselves in terms of like climbing and skiing, and then also in terms of the warrior side of it, like training hard in a CrossFit style or a strong fit style or whatever I'm feeling at that time. And then also the kind of the Brazilian jiu-jitsu aspect of like physically being a warrior too. But I'd kind of lost that, so I went back to it. I went back to what really drives me as an athlete, like what really drives me, not even as an athlete, as a human being. I went back to who I am, because I got too wrapped up, like that I'm making the same mistakes. Like, I hope you see that I'm not perfect. I make the same mistakes as you guys will make. I forget that I need to focus on who I want to be, not what I'm doing. And I got so focused on what I was doing, I got so focused on the method, that I forgot the principles at heart, which is, who do you want to be? And what I'm saying is, do something that sets your soul on fire. And it doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't matter other people's perspective of it. If you're doing something that truly sets your soul on fire, that gets you excited to train again, like to express yourself physically, even if it's just like having fun with some friends and just like fucking around on like a five-side football pitch, or like, I don't care what it is, you're far more likely to enjoy it. You're far more likely to get the satisfaction from it with that kind of that fun aspect. So don't forget the fun. The fun is a key piece. And of course, the further up the kind of the athletic scale you want to go, the more rigid and more structured you have to be. But you should never lose that sense of fun. You should never do it, because like, personally, I've made that mistake, and it's not a great place to be. But also, I've coached hundreds, if not thousands, of athletes, and a vast majority of them, when they get to this serious level of performance, they forget the fun. And I want to leave you guys with a little quote today. And I would like, and to round off my story, actually, before I get there, to round off my story, I've started climbing, and I fucking love it, guys. Like, it's so much fun, the challenge of it, and I'm still doing jiu-jitsu, I'm still sticking, and I'm still doing CrossFit style training, and that forms the foundation of what I actually do and all that kind of stuff. And I've got back to running, and like, guys, just like one long run out in nature per week is an amazing way to reset yourself. But like, I've got back to who I really want to be, and this climbing thing, it's really taking my heart. There's something in it. Like, I think it's because I'm naturally like, there's something in my veins and something in my soul that connects me to the mountains. And I think that true athletic enjoyment has to come from something you love, like, because otherwise it becomes rote, it becomes routine, it becomes dry, it becomes, I don't know, boring, I think, unless you find that fun. So go back to the fun. And that last quote that I want to read you, and this came from a book that I've started reading. It's about climbing, and it's a really fantastic book, which the name of which is past my mind, and I'll have to come back to that. It's like literally the most famous climbing book there is, and for some reason, Touching the Void, I think it is. Yeah, Touching the Void by Joe Simpson. Anyway, there's a quote that starts this off, and I just thought it was brilliant and beautiful, so I wanted to pass it on to you guys. It's, all men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind wake in the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dreams with open eyes to make it possible. And what that is really saying is, give yourself permission to attempt something that is far beyond where you think is possible for you right now. It's saying, use your imagination, use that fantastic, powerful mind that you possess. You trick your subconscious, use your imagination, use visualization, and you will get to where you want to be. I promise you guys, like, it's because when you dream and then act on it, there's so much there. So I really want you to live by that quote, like, and very, very, like, logically, very tangibly as well, dream of what you want to achieve. Like, use your imagination, visualize it, because there's so much that comes from it. And obviously, like, we teach that kind of stuff. So if you want to find out more information, you can head to MindsetRx. You can email me, Tom at MindsetRx, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is this: just sit down and dream of who do you want to be. And I think that really is the sum of MindsetRx. It is what we're trying to put across. Like, live your potential, because, like, who knows? Like, to take this on a very deep dive all of a sudden, you don't know when your last breath is going to be. You don't know when your last day is going to be. And I know there's people that will die tonight that had plans for tomorrow. And there's people who will die tomorrow that have plans for the day after. And you don't want to be one of those people who's just like, who's on their deathbed thinking, oh, I wish I was going to do, like, I was meant to be doing this thing and I wish I'd never done it. So go towards your limitless potential. Dream, give yourself permission to dream, and you'll thank yourself later. And if you enjoyed the podcast, share it, like, let some friends know, all that kind of stuff. But I suppose the best, I've got two kind of announcements, I suppose, for today. The first one is, if you want to keep in touch with MindsetRx and be in a supportive community of athletes who are embracing mindset as a way of life, find the Facebook group Mindset for Functional Athletes. So Mindset for Functional Athletes, and there'll be loads of stuff there. And like the Facebook page, which is just MindsetRx. Or you can follow me at Tom Foxley on Instagram. But I suppose the big message is that we're releasing something called the Digital Mindset Gym. And honestly, I don't have all the information for you right now, other than it's starting February the 1st, 2019. And it'll be pretty much open doors for them. We might have like selections for, or phases of taking people on board, but the first lot of people, the first lot of athletes on board are going to start February 1st. And for more information, just email me, tom at mindsetrx.com. So mindsetrxd.com. That's Romeo X-ray Delta.com. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Until next time, keep crushing training and dream during the day.